Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And that's the Bearable Calf. And we got this aggressively average content for you today. As ladies and gentlemen, the Bearable Calf is a little afraid because MonkeyPox have returned, making a grand entrance in 2020 and an encore appearance here in 2024. Right on time, I might add. Right on time for lockdowns, right on time for mail-in ballots, right on time for the 2024 election. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the exact replay, the exact script of 2020. The last time around we saw it coming. I warned all of you. Now, it's clear as day, and if you fall for the psyop, the second time in a row, it's your fault, and you deserve the slavery that's coming to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress this enough. This right here is the perfect Black Swan event, as they showed last time around. And this is going to affect financial markets, and we'll discuss this later in this video. But we have to discuss the geopolitical going on right now. Trudeau's Canadian government has issued very specific information about the future pandemic, which is going to happen right now in election season, which they warn will come in 3 waves and is set to disrupt banking, wink wink, gas, and the food supply. You don't say. Ladies and gentlemen, this election season is so important that they're going to pull out all the stops, and they're really going to try to make you all feel it. Because not only will this pandemic be the cover, but in addition, we have this. The food supply is being affected right now, and more I'm seeing narratives of food being infected by pretty lethal diseases. Not only are we experiencing a death by 1,000 cuts through inflation, we are also experiencing a death by 1,000 cuts through the Chinese purchase of our farmland. And in addition, the worsening quality of the food we eat. I can't stress this enough. All these narratives we've been discussing for years are playing out in front of your very eyes. And I wonder what you're going to do if this worst case scenario actually occurs. Now, in addition, I've often called myself your narrator through the book of Revelation for a number of reasons. But right here, these lizards have let you know quite literally that we are in that part of the book. The pale horse of death made a grand entrance in the Olympics. And as I'm sitting here warning you of the numerous black swans they're going to dish out to steal this election again, all I ask you to do is to pay attention. We have health events, geopolitical events, food supplies, but also war. A couple weeks ago, Netanyahu came to Congress and spoke and urged that we go to war with Iran, and like clockwork, we are escalating tensions with Iran. Isn't that interesting? In addition, we have tensions rising in Lebanon, making it so U.S. citizens that are there as we speak are being requested to leave immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, stay the course. Pay attention. Stay grounded. This is not a game. This is not a drill. This is the real deal. Election 2024, World War III, Pandemic 2.0, the whole 9. They are going to dish out every single card they can, because this is them pulling out all the stops. Not only do we have to worry about everything I just mentioned, but remember the Microsoft CrowdStrike issue that caused the largest IT outage in history that occurred a couple weeks ago as well. Flights were grounded, blackouts everywhere. I've been discussing the narrative of cyber pandemics left and right, blackouts left and right. People call me a conspiracy theorist without hesitation. But when all these narratives are converging for the perfect storm, nobody will give you the credit. Fuck them all. Those of you with the eyes to see and the ears to hear will always understand. We're in the moment of truth right now, and you cannot ignore it. To go along with those cyber attacks, hackers may have stolen your social security number in a massive breach. 2.9 billion social security numbers hacked. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to experience the problem, reaction, solution scenario where, because of this, and maybe we have to move to the blockchain, have digital IDs to have the blockchain secure our information. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I've laid the foundation of everything going on in the world right now, you need to realize that economically, Warren Buffett has sold approximately half of his Apple positions. They will try and spin this into a positive, but in reality, this is just him seeing the writing on the wall. There will be a market pullback at some point. There will be a moment in time where holding cash is more important. But this is going to align with a theory I have. And that theory coincides with these September rate cuts that they've been anticipating, that they're starting to call for. Rate cuts are not a good thing for the market. It signals weakness to the people that know. COVID, March 2020, the biggest crash in crypto that I've personally experienced aside from the Terra Luna collapse. That was a frightening moment. That coincided with rate cuts. But that also coincided with a massive global event, a global pandemic that locked down the world. And I think this time around, they're going to have numerous different narratives. MonkeyPox, maybe cyber attacks, definitely war, maybe food supply chain shortages, all of it. To say, hey, we need rate cuts to re-stimulate the economy. Big pullback. Then send all our bags into the stratosphere, because after that moment, that's when the crypto bull run really began. That was the lowest moment in the crypto market. But then afterwards, it was true prosperity. I think this is exactly what we're going to experience. And I can't stress that enough. Now, with that in your minds, you all do need to see the cracks in the system that will birth the new one out of it. We need to go into the eye of the storm before we can get the prosperity we all want. There are currently a lot of bank failures happening in China. And there are also massive failures happening in Japan. We all understand how the yen has been imploding and the market crash is happening in Japan. And ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen this time will be a crisis like 2008, but on steroids. It will be absolutely global. And the intervention that might be needed to take this and save it could very well be crypto. We already had Donald Trump talking about a US Bitcoin reserve and using Bitcoin to pay back the national debt in some capacity. Oh, isn't that interesting? I believe XRP could play a massive role in that capacity as well. We still need to see XRP hit new all-time highs after this case. We still need to see XRP freed and allowed to breathe by Ripple and the stopping of all the selling. We need to see XRP begin to have this stable coin. We already have testing for the stable coin. But in addition, we're moving in the right direction. Ripple tokenized 10 million to tokenize US Treasury bills on the XRP ledger provided by Open Eden. But this is one of those developments that really tickled my peach, if you know what I mean. When we see things like this happening, we see how legitimate a lot of the theories we've been discussing in the XRP community truly are. And along with that, we have the BRICS nations setting up to adopt their new payment system,
159 countries are set to adopt the BRICS payment system along with the BRICS nations, and this is a standard pivot away from the US dollar system. Ray Dalio talked about how when a empire is failing and collapsing, part of it is economic and currency wars, and once those economic and currency wars begin and hit a climax of a moment, the flailing empire makes them into physical wars. Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, the Middle East. What more do you want? How Venezuela is going to begin taking part in it as Elon Musk is challenging their leader to a steel cage match. I actually believe that's a real tweet. Please don't quote me. But all jokes aside, Putin recently allowed a law that allowed the use for crypto in their payment system as well. And all I'm saying is this. Here in the XRP community, we've been talking about all these geopolitical and economic events for years. And here in 2024, we've refined all of these narratives. We've refined XRP knowledge. We're fact-based. We're getting it all together. And we're seeing how it all connects. And now with this XRP case over, XRP can be allowed to be used here in America. And it's more likely to be used internationally as well. As we see these Fed rate cuts looming, the macro is setting up to be in the perfect environment to let crypto thrive. And as a direct consequence, XRP adoption and XRP price action will be more explosive than a lot of people expect. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're about to step into the new 1%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As I've been dealing with a new foundation and fatherhood at home, with the Bearable Calf over here keeping me up 27 hours a day. I've taken a new leave and a new perspective on what it truly means to gain generational wealth from this opportunity. And ladies and gentlemen, this channel is taking the pivot that I've been declaring for a while now. We're talking about all the geopolitical and crypto events. We're talking about chart analysis and others. But I'll also be revamping the Aggressively Average podcast to have some important people in my network tell all of you exactly what you need in order to become who you were destined to be. Ladies and gentlemen, the crypto market has been in a holding pattern over the past couple months. But now things are about to get spicy. Remember this as we continue. And I'm excited for the next steps. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.